Hello there. In this tutorial, I'm going to discuss about concept of transport rule. Before we learn about transport rule, we have to learn about the messaging policy. Now, in the organization, we have like mailing. We send a mail, we receive some mail. Being a user of an organization, a client of our organization, we receives the mail, we send the mail, and this process will remain in the electronic media. It's not that we are using Gmail or Outlook. We used to get mail, we used to send a mail in the organization as well. In that case, a messaging policy is required. Anything when it goes to beyond of its use, or anything we just let our people or our employees and we ourselves, when we start using, we need some ruling to give a chance to every people. For example, we have a resource, a high level resource, but if 100 people start sending emails with each other without any limitation, then any such particularly any such a system will be for will see the downfall of it, will see the downgrade of it. Any speed, whether you have 1 Tbps infrastructure as well, but at one moment that will also looks to be incomplete for you, that will also looks to be slow for you. In that case, a messaging policy will require. In the messaging policy, we not able to control our operation. We also able to moderate, we also able to protect email traffic, we also able to control it. It will also give you the chance of security as well. Any mail which is looks to be quite classified for any company, it might become, it will be dangerous if someone leaked this particular information to some other organization and some other for example, a competitive company. In that case, you can't trust the employees anyway. You just need to create a policy so that you're able to protect those things. Anyway, you can't just say that I can't trust you, but a policy is required, a messaging policy is there in that case. And in that way, we need a transport rule. From creating a messaging policy, we need a transport rule. Why need a transport rule? Again, as we said, that since we have a messaging policy, and it will be not only gonna increase your resource well, but you will be able to get the security, and in that case it will be more helpful for you to create a platform so that every employee of yours will get the better environment for the interactions. So similarly, as mentioned, that security, filtering the confidential information, you can't just let your employees to just leak your information, leak your important information. It will be same. They're gonna be really the way it works. The prevention for inappropriate content. If some of the employees start sending you inappropriate content, start sending or the content which is not as per the company's policy, maybe disturbing employees like that. In that case, it will be quite a way where you can protect your user, particularly to have the such measure from any company employee to other employees. So it will be a security concern. Confidential information always is the key where we need to protect. No doubt we are providing the domain information to any employee, but that employee should not leak those information outside. So security will be there, and security confirmation will always be the priority for any company. The maximum uses of resources. Now in that case, when there's 100 people, as mentioned, that you have a great infrastructure inside, you have 1 Tbps speed, but at any way those speed will also be gonna degrade if at the moment every employee and every 100 employees start sending mails and interacting each other for every single mails. So in that case, infrastructure environment will see a downfall. It will see the degraded speed, and it will be, and you can't pass out from that. Any great infrastructure will see a fall if the and downtime also if number of active connections will start increasing. Also, you can track the archive mails as well. We're tracking the mails and also the archive mails. Sometimes what happens then, uh, when the informative archive mail become classified, you will always have the fear that it got stolen out. So if the classified mail out there, then you have all the time, we need reason to protect that unless it become useless for you. Whether you gonna whether you're gonna uh, kill it or not, destroy that or not, but unless you have keeping the archive mail, you have to keep that safe. Now, assigning moderation with the transfer rule, we can assign moderation as well. Someone needs to be there, and some a department needs to be organized so that this particular issue needs to be on hand. People will be there who will we will stand in between the people of your, for example, organization, and the moderation department keeps on checking on that, keeps on tracking out and all that, and can have to add disclaimers as well. For example, some employee sending a mail, and if that is some way need to be classified, some way need to get extra treatment, then a disclaimer is required. Disclaimer will always be added to protect and to show that yes, the rights which we are, if for example we are sending a classified mail, then all rights are reserved with the company, and you may using the mail in near future, or the rules or the propaganda or the whatever we have. For example, if we are treating to the client, all the time the disclaimer will be show the disclaimer that the rights are reserved with the company, that this is our brainchild. Again, inbound or outbound message redirect to moderation can be, who knows, from outside you might get the spam mails, which kind of unhealthy, kind of creating unhealthy organization. Now, what are we going to do? There's one term which is required to learn more. It's moderated transport. Now, this particular is a new feature for Exchange Server 2010, moderated transport. Now, this allows you to require all mails whichever you have sent or specified recipient to approve by moderator. Even for example, you're a new person, you're a new government employee, and in that case, if you're sending a message to hire for the label, then first it needs to be checked out. Who knows what kind of mails you have sending? So in that case, it will be like a big organization. Okay, whatever the criteria is, they might have assigned the moderation so that the topmost authority will always be careful to get the mails. So moderation department will be there. Now you can allow or deny according to acceptability of the message. Being a moderator of the transport rule, if you are assigned for that duty, being the moderator, being the middle guy, you can allow or deny. For example, If it's a kind of spam mail, say hello, I just want to test the mail, then a higher authority will not tolerate such mail. So in that case, the moderation department will take care of it and can warn that person as well that please don't misuse the messages, mails, the rights we have given to you. So it's all about the company's policy. There is transport rules, and transport rules can be assigned in a hub transport server and edge transport server. We have already discussed during the installation of Exchange server that hub transport server can be the part of the same Exchange server if you have the mail Exchange server, mailbox Exchange server, and edge transport server will be the different server, Exchange server, and can't be installed with the hub transport. If you need edge transport server, then you need a totally a different Exchange server, unless hub transport server will do your work. Another thing which we are going to learn about is terms and conditions of transport rule. Now the terms and conditions will be required. The reason being is that it needs to be, it is not that you just creating a rule. It need exceptions over there. It also need the actions. So if the particular mail is coming in some condition, you created some condition, and if the condition is lying whatever you have created, and if it gone without exception, then the particular mail or something will be go through the moderation. Now this thing is message scope. Now for example, a sender or receiver send a message, and if there is a scope of message, for example, is there any scope of their messages there? So importance are there in the message. For example, a sender and receiving, it is very important message we are sending, the scope is there, then in that case a priority needs to be assigned. That message scope is sent it, and if it falling to some of the rules you have created, doesn't matter that you only create one rule, it can be 2 rule, it can be 3 rule, it can be 4 rule, unlimited rule can be created. When we start creating rules in Exchange server, we will see out there the priority thing, that which rule falling where. When first rule coming, you can, it's not that whatever rule you have created become the first rule, and whatever rule later you have created becomes second. You can even change the priority. So it's always worked in the ascending order. Okay, 0, then it will be n minus 1 as well, and it will be the number. So either 1 minus 1 is would be 0, 2 minus 1 will be 1. So it will be assigned. You can assign the priority like that. Now there will be condition after setting the priority. A messaging scope is there, that whether it needs whether in that scope any condition can be applied or not. And now as for the conditions, what are the conditions on which transport rule can be applied on it? We will learn about the conditions as well. Regarding the conditions, will always be, should not be have any exception. We will learn about that, but should not have any conditions. We will also learn about the predicates on it. There will be a rule with no conditions as well. There will be a falling. Now this is the conditions part. In the rule with no condition, if there is a rule but without condition we have created, for example, that will not curb down any rights of any person, but the rule is created. In that case, we rule with multiple predicates. Now predicates, we will know about one rule we have created. In that case, we have created one predicate. For example, we request to edit the predicate again, or for example, we need to add more or more people on the rule. Then this will fall into that rule with multiple predicate. That will also come into the conditions out there. If one condition satisfies and it falls down to second condition, second rule, then in that case it might be it will relation to the particular transport ruling formula, and in that case if it gets approval or it can be rejected from the moderations. In that case, regarding the predicates, we will learn about that. But as mentioned, predicate with multiple values. In that case, if we assign the predicate, and if a predicate can allow 1 or 2 or 3, we can assign the multiple values. Exception. Now remember, what I mentioned just now is that if you have any condition assigned and if it falls to any exception, for example, I say that A and B can send a mail. A and B sending a mail with each other, and in CC, copy the message. In CC, a C will be involved. Now you have created exception that A and C can't send a mail, but a CC will be there. Like A and B send a mail, CC, a copy message will reach to CC anyway, but A can't send the mail to CC. This is what kind of exception you have created. So in that case, if rule particularly allows this, then a condition will fail, and if exception is there, then there will be no action created. If condition falls without any exception, that there is no exception we have created, then action will be performed. If a condition is falling with some exception, then action will not be. Then there will be no such way we can fall in it. Now, predicates available in App Transport Server, because we have different numbers in the documents which Microsoft available. There's 40 predicates available. Although in your system, when you open the Exchange Server 2010, we'll get to know about 41. Now there's predicates we are learning about. It's the from people. This is the number 1. From people, predicate name is from. Predicate properties come with the addresses. Then the second thing will be from a member of distribution list. And there will be a third predicate from users that are inside or outside the organization. These are the rules. When you try to create a rule, you always have the description over there, and according to your company's policy, according to your company's laws, whatever your company says, that you have to create a rule according to that only. Then there will be sent to people, sent to a member of distribution loop, then sent to the user inside and outside the organization or partner. So sent to member of distribution loop. In that case, there will be a listed, or recipient can be listed in 2CC or BCC. Need not to worry about these predicates, because these are always been there in your Exchange Server 2010. You just needs to, all these are in self-explanatory. Lots are in self-explanatory, and you can understand about between members of distribution loop and this distribution list. When the manager of any sender is people, when the sender is the manager of a recipient, or something like that. In that case, there will be a lot of rules out there, something 40 rules. You can check it out in documentation of Microsoft regarding a predicates. The last one, the 40th one, is when an attachment is unsupported. So what would be the cause? In that case, it will be not applicable. Attachment is unsupported. Message will be message with attachment that are unsupported. If anything, you have tried to send an attachment, like for example GIF, and if it's not supporting our system, then you will get the message straight away that this particular attachment will not be supported. Now there will be predicates available for Edge Transport Server as well. Now there will be 14 predicates which are in the H transport servers. The most commonly will be the when the subject field contains specific words. For example, any abusive word can't be used in the subject, so in that case will be go through it. Second predicate property will not applicable. Predicate property to word, that it's totally believe and totally concentrated on the words. When any recipient address contains specific words, so it will be also a predicate property becomes and fall into the words, and it will be something like 13 particular messages out there. You can even find out about the messages, how to or how these predicates you can find out from our system. Let's go to our Exchange server, and we're gonna fall into the property how we can find it out about the predicates in Exchange server 2010. So let's move to our Exchange server 2010. Now I've reached to Exchange server 2010 machine, and through EMS we able to find it out the particular predicates. There will be a two where we're going to learn transport rule predicate and transport rule action. So as I mentioned that in the documentation there will be 40 rule, but in the system you will get to know about 41. So when we go and give a command called get transport rule predicate and click on it, then you will be see out the entire details of predicate. This is what 41, you can check it out. So there are lots of, as mentioned, and there will be a self-explanatory as well, so like attachment is unsupported. There are certain things which already are being there, linked display text, you can able to check it out where it can be used. The number of predicates along with their say number, which is 40, for example 38, like that. So if for example you use a pipe called FT, which is a table form, if you use the pipe and in the table form, for example you use that, you will get the entire details in the table form. It will be similarly like that. And for example, if you use the pipe of a full list, this is a full text form, so you have used the pipe in the text form, you will be able to see. For example, you use the pipe called full list, so it will be in the list form like that. And then you have the entire details of particular predicate, and you will have the all kind of a description out there, so you can check it out about according to it. So another thing this we gonna learn about, and that command will be, again, let me clear screen that, and the command we're going to write is get -transport rule action. This would be the command, and to know about the predicate of action, so as mentioned that there will be action of the rules, the transport rule. So one is condition, then again is will be action if there is no exception over there. So transport rule, so we get to know about 15. There is rules, you can able to check it out, and according to their save rank, the same number. In the documentation we have learned about 14, so you will be able to see which are these rules are in. If you use the pipe and if you use the command called FL full list, then you're able to check out more regarding the predicates. So what are the identities, the valuation and all that. So a clear screen, this is what transport rule is all about. We're going to find out when we create the rules more, and regarding the what are the conditions we're going to create, and if there is no exception we have added, then rule will be applied according to it. Hope you learned something from it. Thanks for watching.